And 3 white men chase a black male. Black male found dead at a dumpster. The judge breaks all protocol, questions the hate crime statute basically being applied to them. It is insane. Put the picture up full mass. 3 white males were arrested in connection with the shooting death last week of a 39-year-old black male in Jacksonville, Florida. The victim's name has not yet been released, according to First Coast News. Ryan Nichols, 19, 18-year-old Danielle DeGardia, and 21-year-old Holden Dodson. They all were arrested after the victim was found dead behind a garbage dumpster on the 500 block of Ashley Street in Jacksonville. The man was found dead from apparent gunshot wounds at about 6:45 a.m. This was on May 2nd. Surveillance video footage captured the 3 males chasing the victim on foot and in a vehicle. The security footage later obtained by the police showed a Jeep Grand Cherokee carrying Nichols, a DeGardia, and Dodson parked near 100 North Julia Street before the man got out of the vehicle at approximately 2:25 a.m. All right. So then at approximately 2:45 a.m., the footage captured one of the men chasing the victim past the Jeep. The 3 men got back into the Jeep a few moments later and drove away. Subsequent footage captured the man driving down streets nearby, seemingly looking for the victim still, who is seen at approximately 2:50 a.m. on Clay Street and running north from the Jeep he's still running. One of the men got out and chased the man, who is later seen trying to hide behind the garbage dumpster. He is trying to save himself. There's more. The police report is redacted and did not indicate the shooting. Dodson later reported his 9mm Glock missing. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office found several 9mm shell casings at the scene of the crime, along with a loaded extended magazine, which was found next to the victim. They also found evidence that the garbage dumpster had been hit by a vehicle. Once again, more evidence. Additional video. More video from a 7-Eleven on Julia Street caught the Jeep's license plate, which had the words 9/11/2001, we will never forget, and an American flag. The Jeep reportedly belongs to DeGardia's mother. After Nichols and Dodson were identified, arrest warrants were issued. They were arrested. So here's the kicker. They get arrested, all right? The rule is the state can decide to enhance the charge, all right? This is typically how you do a hate crime charge. You enhance an original charge. So Circuit Court Judge Kim Sattler, okay? Judge Sattler told 2 of the defendants, DeGardia and Dodson, that their charges could be upgraded to hate crimes when they appeared in court Thursday. It's unclear why the judge did not say the same for Nichols. All right? So DeGardia's bail was set at more than $500,000. Dodson's was just over $200,000. The judge did not grant Nichols bond at all. Judge Sattler then told the news that the state would decide if hate crime charges would be brought. I'm not the state. It's up to them, of course, what charges they bring, said Sattler. But it was just a bunch of white guys chasing a black guy. I don't see any reason for it. End quote from the judge. Have you ever in your life heard a judge make a ruling in an interview? Ever? I mean, at this point, you're talking about, this is really pre-investigation stage. They have not even reached exhaustive investigation stage yet. The judge is already making a call here that this is not a hate crime without any evidence whatsoever, one way or the other. Why? Because evidence has not been presented. And when it is, it won't be presented to the judge in that format. Okay? That was a bond hearing. You don't weigh all evidence in a bond hearing. You say some things about the background, evidence you may have, circumstantial, etc. But this judge has come out and said, just white guys chasing a black guy. What's wrong with that? How is that racial? How is that a hate crime? Okay. All right. I have never seen a judge step out of line like this in order to defend people who she believes also killed another human being. David, thoughts?
This one is sort of a shocker. This sounds like a judge who wants to hear her own voice. I mean, and is so enamored with herself. Because again, I mean, even if a judge has certain suspicions about what may or may not have happened, the proper role of the judge is to say, let's just let's see how the evidence plays out. These are the charges now. The charges can always be upgraded. We'll see where the prosecution comes in, where the defense comes in. Let's see what the evidence shows. But for the judge to make a judgment already and to already be saying, well, I don't see what the problem is here. I mean, that's absurd. I mean, I think those are grounds in some sense for the judge to be impeached or for a formal complaint to be filed against her. I mean, you don't have to look at somebody hanging from a tree to say, well, that couldn't be a lynching, even though there was a white mob that was chasing that black man. Things just sort of, it's insanity. It's insanity for someone to sort of say these sort of claims, make these statements and say, oh no, maybe it was just a domestic dispute. Well, maybe it was, but let's wait and see where the evidence comes in.
That's right. That's right. And that's the issue. No evidence, but she basically makes a ruling and steps completely out of her role as a judge in this matter.
Okay, I would like to thank Indisputable from Dr. Rashad Ritchie for this story. And I also saw a video, and I'm going to continue to talk about the story myself. I saw a First Coast Jacksonville news clip. They now later identified the victim that was killed. His name was 39-year-old Gary Jackson. Let's just keep it real. 39-year-old Gary Jackson was the black man that was killed by these three white supremacists that you see on the screen. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the judge was she was out of line. And this is why I said, ladies and gentlemen, she needs to be disbarred. She need to be kicked off the bench. Why would you say that these are white men chasing black men? I don't see nothing wrong with that. What? Whoa. Wait a second. So you got three white men, and this is what I'm saying. I see this is a public lynching, in my opinion. This is another public lynching. That three white guys shot and killed a 39-year-old black victim, Gary Jackson, and threw him in a trash dumpster. And yet the judge had the audacity to say, oh, these are just three white men that chased a black man. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Are you kidding me? You see incidents happening in Mississippi. A lynching, hanging in Georgia years back. And you're telling me that this isn't a hate crime? Now, now they're saying that they're going to await and see if they're going to increase their charges of hate crimes. Even though two of the three victims have been granted bail. I've never known a judge that would say, well, these are three white guys chasing a black guy. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Oh man, I don't know who. I don't understand that who voted that judge get on that bench, but she need to be removed from the bench. Seriously. Gary Jackson is no longer here because of these three white supremacists. And yes, I am calling them a white supremacist because that's exactly what they are. When I look at their First Coast news clip, basically they try to say they want to have more information. But again, shouts out to Dr. Rashad Ritchie, Indisputable, to give more information of this case. See, this is basically showing you the continuation of, and just like I told you before, this is another modern day lynching I see right now. You see a lot of incidents that are happening. And this is the latest one. And I believe about a month ago, a black man has been chased by a couple of white guys in Mississippi. And they found his body mutilated. Now you have this judge now in Jacksonville, Florida, saying, oh, these are three white men chasing this black guy. I don't see anything wrong with it. they need to disbar this judge. They need to get her off the bench, remove her off the bench. But the biggest question is, who voted this woman to be the local judge? Now Gary Jackson's family right now is now been heartbroken because their loved one is dead, shot and deleted and found him in a trash can. And this judge said some ignorant comments saying, well, this is just 3 white men chasing a black guy. I don't see nothing wrong with that. And by the way, they still are waiting to see they go increase their charges of a hate crime. This is very disturbing. Even as a circuit court judge, she has no idea. She didn't have no excuses of why you would say something of a victim that's lost his life in a modern day lynching like this. And yes, I call this a modern day lynching because you got 3 white guys shot and killed a black man named Gary Jackson and throw the body into a trash can. And the judge saying that this was just 3 white guys chasing a black guy. Really? That's why I said I hope they get rid of this judge. They kick her off the bench. She don't deserve being she doesn't deserve being a circuit court judge, in my opinion. She don't. Because come on now. That is straight disrespectful to Gary Jackson's family when you said that. Unbelievable. Y'all let me know what you think about this, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you in the next video. This is Lions signing off. Deuces.